James Lindsay a Nazi? In his book Race Marxism, James Lindsay, who I call a professional mangler of philosophy, of course, former mathematician, and then he got famous through those grievance hoax studies, and then he's gotten more and more wacko, and he literally said that I'll vote for Trump because he's going to cancel critical race theory, which goes against uh, his apparent obsession with free speech. Anyway, and to start off with his particular argument in Race Marxism, which is, I think it's his second newest book, is the Marxification of Education is his newest book, I think. Anyway, in his book Race Marxism, he claims critical race theory is neo-Marxist. Wrong. It has nothing to do with Marxism. They focus on different things. He also claims critical race theorists say systemic racism is the fundamental organizing principle of society. Nope, they just think it's the most important problem to focus on. He claims critical race theorists say white people deliberately preserve systemic racism in order to continue structural discrimination of people of color. No way, man. They generally don't believe paranoid conspiracy theories. They simply think that racism and discrimination are still part of our culture to the extent that there are racist laws in the American legal structure. You could call some of them activists, but they don't believe paranoid conspiracy theories about white people. Also, there like critical race theory isn't just this monolith. People have different opinions. Derek Bell, who I've mentioned many times before, is a self-proclaimed incrementalist who disagrees with some other critical race theories about how radical the transformation of laws should be. Anyway, so obviously, as I often point out, he doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about when it comes to anything to do with any of the realms of philosophy that he's always insulting. And now I've learned more about like his personal affiliations and shit recently, and it's only important because it tells you where he gets the foundations of his fucking wacko beliefs. So he believes a bunch of bullshit conspiracy theories, as I've said before. He works for New Discourses, which is funded by Sovereign Nations, which is a Christian nationalist think tank. Which is there's nothing inherently wrong with that, but they post wacko Alex Jones shit on their website all the time. Go and look at it. And Lindsay's boss, Michael L. Fallon, is his inspiration, who sounds like Alex Jones and is actually even crazier than both of them. Lindsay is allegedly also friends with Allison Mack. They've been seen at events together, like being friends, and they hang out and shit. Uh, and that doesn't mean guilt by association, but he seems to be associated with a lot of fucked up people. Um, so Allison Mack is an actor who said that she taught him everything he knows. She said that on Twitter, and he retweeted it a while ago. She is one of the highest ranking also one of the highest ranking members of Nexium, an infamous cult involved with pedophilia and sex slavery. The leader, Keith Raniere, is in prison. James Lindsay literally believes in the Great Reset, that billionaires who are apparently also Marxists want to create a new world order in which they rule, own everything, have a social credit system, and will control all world governments. They're apparently going to accomplish this by forcing everyone to become trans and get vaccinated. Michael O'Fallon goes even deeper down the rabbit hole than Alex Jones. The foundations of his arguments go all the way down to him literally mentioning the book and using arguments from the Protocols of the Elders of Zion. That was the anti Semitic revisionist history book that inspired Hitler to pursue his fucking final solution. James Lindsay is positioning himself more and more as a pro Trump Christian nationalist neo Nazi, like especially since he's spouting more and more of these talking points from his boss Michael O'Fallon, who uses arguments inspired by the protocols of the elders of Zion, and he's like James Lindsay's hero, and he's been sounding more and more like him all the time. and they sound so serious that when they make a point that they sound is really serious, you can hear in the back of the mind the sound effect going dun dun dun. And anyway, so he's getting closer and closer to that anyway. I wouldn't say James Lindsay actually is a Nazi, but it seems like his boss is actually literally at least really fucking super sympathetic to Nazis, and he's becoming more and more like him all the time. So he's not only Lindsay also isn't only positioning himself more and more as a pro-Trump Christian nationalist neo-Nazi without saying the last part. He is also he also sees himself as a noble hero in a cosmic mythological struggle against the evil critical race theorists who are actually neo-Marxists, who are actually secret fundamentalist Gnostic Christians who are evil and bad. These are literally James Lindsay's beliefs. What a fucking crackpot.